Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. We are very excited today to have the man who co-founded this show right here in the house, rocking the house-key. It's Matt Kloskowski.
Hey everybody, good to see you again. What's up, man?
All right, good to have you here.
I need to change like my co-founder. I should
That's
add
right,
that in
co-founder.
there. Co-founder.
Dude, you started
I don't
this
know that I'm
show.
co-founder of any. I'm going to make co-founder.
I remember sitting like in an office trying to come up with a name, right? And like the idea and the format and the whole 9 yards. So it is an honor to have you back. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
It was great. You were in Photoshop last week.
I was at Photoshop. I was
10 days ago.
Yeah.
You crushed it, by the way. I saw Matt's evaluation forms because we used to have to wait weeks and bring in temps.
Yeah.
It's all done in our app now. We have a great app for Photoshop.
I hacked the app, though. That's why.
You did hack the app. But
didn't you notice there was like 17,000?
I thought there was a
little bit more. Yeah.
I thought there was a lot.
Dude, you know what, man? It was I mean, it's always been a fun conference, but I had a great time, man. The people, I mean, it was the same energy that I always remember. I mean, I had a really nice time. The people were super psyched about it. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun. People were thrilled to have you there. We're thrilled to have you here, and we're talking landscape photography tips. We're going to talk all kinds of cool stuff. Hey, for those of you who are just tuning in, and those of you who are watching on Facebook, so we're streaming live to Facebook. We would love it if you're watching us on Twitter or on Facebook or on the KelbyTV.com/thegrid. If you would take a moment, just a moment, and say, hey friends, come and watch The Grid with you. So if you would tweet out something or just drop a note. We got a bunch of shout outs we're going to give here real quick.
Everybody likes landscapes. Everybody travels somewhere.
So whatever landscape photographer you know, right? And we're going to see lots of pretty pictures because Matt brought some really, really pretty pictures. You've really been focused on landscape here for the last few years.
Yeah. You know what? I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. I still remember the conversation. Like you and I were in a car in Big Sur, California, and we were talking about.
We didn't get a single shot in Big Sur.
No, we didn't. Not one. I just remember talking about it, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm all over the place, and I'm like okay at a lot of things. And then we started talking about it. You were like, well, what really interests you? I'm like, I love shooting landscapes. And
well,
so
dude, I got to tell you,
that's kind of like when I just settled in on like this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, well, you went from I'm not sure what I'm going to do to one of the best landscape photographers out there in a very, very short time. Lots of shout-outs here. Young Wayne from greetings from Melbourne, Australia. Fran's here, Fran. Fran. We're going to ask this question, but she has a question for Matt. Let's go ahead and answer it now. Matt, what is your favorite place in the world to shoot? You can shoot anywhere. Where would it be?
All right, so I'm going to go on just places that I've been to because I can't really say that I haven't. I'm gonna go. God, I gotta go Norway. I gotta go Norway. Norway was amazing. I would say
Norway.
I would say at any trip that I've taken in the last 10 years, Norway was a body of work that I will have a hard time topping.
Wow. You know, you told me about Norway, and then my mother-in-law wanted to go, and I thought we were going to go to Norway this year, but we're not.
Yeah, it's
Norway.
It's an amazing looking place. So every corner you turn is a postcard. It really is. It's just no matter where you are, whenever you turn a corner, it looks like a postcard right in front of you.
That's where I felt about New Zealand.
And so it's a beautiful place, and easy to get around in, easy to move around in. But one of the fun parts about it is because I said it was probably like my best body of work that I ever created on a trip. Is it was cool because it kind of pushed me. There's no photo spots. There's no like when you go to Iceland, you pull off the side of the road. There's a parking lot. There's 50 cars in the parking lot, and that waterfall that you see in Iceland, that waterfall, good luck trying to get a shot without 100 people in front of it because it's a tourist spot. You stop, you park, and there's 100 people around, and everybody's there. And it was very different in Norway, at least in the places that I was at, where I never saw that. Like every place that I stopped was a place I'm driving along the side of the road. I'm like, that looks pretty good. So I'll pull over here. So it was kind of cool because it kind of stretched you to have to find your own photo spots. Whenever I was driving around during the day.
Lined up in a line ready.
No, dude. I was every single place I took a picture. I was the only photographer.
Does that surprise you when you go to like the canyon slots? And you walk up, and there's 20 photographers, all with their tripods all lined up. It's
dude, it's.
I know where we're at.
I was in Glacier a couple weeks ago, and that's it's the same thing, dude. It's everywhere you go. There's 50 photographers.
50 photographers,
which is still fun. I mean, it's a camaraderie, it's a community. So, but
always
just a very different place.
Small can of mace really clears out an area like you can't believe. Peter T. It's Peter from London. Greetings from London. Thanks for being here. Ben Cresswell. Hey, shout out from the UK. Philip Decker from Maine. What's up? Vilish. Oh, gosh. I'm really bad at your first name. Sorry. How about CM? Happy to watch? Good to see Matt again. Jim Tesk. Absolutely. Matt Tarniski says, Matt, we miss you so much.
Matt. Thanks, Matt.
Nature Crate Photo. Yay, Matt. JMHS Photo says the Paris course that's being highlighted right now, okay, this is right before we started, is one of the best on Kelby. Shooting to the edit. Scott blew that one out of the park. By the way, anyone that writes a comment like that will always be read loud on the air. Phil Norton from New Zealand. Good morning, down under. Good for watching the grid. And greetings from Pennsylvania. Nature Crate Photo. Question to Matt from Honda Civic Johan.
What a name!
No, this is why they're playing off the hybrid boys. So that's okay. Johan's a regular. He's always coming up with a new name every week.
I'm gonna log in next week. I'm gonna call myself Jeep Cherokee Matt.
Jeep Cherokee Matt. Question to Matt: what is your preferred lens? We were going to talk about this, so let's go ahead. What is your preferred lens for long exposure shots?
Long exposure, not long exposure, doesn't really change the.
Yeah, it doesn't change
anything for me. So I would say I did this a few weeks ago. So as I look through my Lightroom library, when you can search by lens, my most used lens is a 24 to 70.
Really?
So the reason being, because a lot of people say like, really, it's not like a 16 to 35
or
I
would 14. Think it was something.
So the reason being is earlier on when I started shooting landscapes, I would shoot everything really wide.
Right.
And I wasn't getting the impact that I wanted in the photos. And I just started studying the photos. I started studying other people's photos to figure out what I was missing. And I realized what I was missing is when you shoot wide and you get to like Canyonlands, and you stand out in this big overlook and you're shooting this big area of vastness in front of you and you shoot it at 16 millimeters, you know what happens?
Everything pushes everything away.
And everything gets so tiny, so you got these amazing mountain peaks off in the distance that you can see that feel larger than life, and they got really small.
You know what I like to do with a super wide? I like to shoot stuff that's small and up close. Like if I was in like a hotel ballroom or something, and you go ultra wide, it's amazing. Yes. It takes things that are close and pushes them out. The problem is, an ultra wide takes things that are already out and pushes them farther away.
So I would say that's probably like one of our first tips is, it goes to what you just said, which would be get your 16 to 35, your 14, your 15 mil, whatever it is. You get that out when you have something right in front of you.
Yeah.
That you need to fit into the scene, and you've got stuff way, way back and out all around you that you want to fit into the scene because you want to bring it all together. But if I don't walk up to someplace and have something right in front of me that like I want to make sure it looks larger than life and a big part of the scene, then the 24 goes on.
This is very interesting.
Now, and most of my stuff is shot between 24 and 30, and I'll make what I want fit into that frame, and everything looks so much better.
I'm already learning something. All right. Hey, Kathy Bateson is here. Hi, Kathy. Welcome back, Matt. Love to see you on the grid. Matt, do you have a secret editing tip you've never shared before?
A secret editing tip I've never shared
While you're
before.
thinking, well, you think for a second, I'm going to read another one. Rose Kieran is here. She's from New Zealand. And she says, my favorites are on the grid today. Yay, good evening from Berlin. Happy to see you. Finland's watching. And hi, Juan Carlos from Madrid, Spain. By the way, Madrid, Spain, home of my mother. My mother was born in Madrid.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to Madrid. And I got to Madrid for my first time this last year and just absolutely loved it. And the crew from Lens Pro to Go, awesome to see Matt. And so they send their very best.
Pro to Go, yeah.
This is great. Matt's in the house. It's a Matt fest here in the comments. Thank you.
I love Matt.
Yeah, don't we all? Anyway, thank you very much for all the kind words out there. Peter Treadway, which is one of the hybrid boys. So he's one of the hybrid. Did you meet him at Photoshop World, Peter and Dave?
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
that's Peter, and he says Dave, who is his partner in crime, is off to Norway in a few
man,
weeks.
you guys are. Ugh.
All right, so I'm going to Iceland in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I have no idea where to go. I have no idea where to stay. I have nowhere to do. So if you're watching this and you're living in Iceland and you're like, maybe I should help Scott out and give him a few tips, I'd be cool with that. So drop me a line over on Facebook and let me know. I really need to know where to go, what to do. I'm only there for 3 days. I'm like flying in. I stay 3 days and I fly
All
home.
right, dude. I'll get you a good plan.
You help me out.
I'll get
Okay.
you a good plan.
All right, because
I'm
he
sure
was
you know
just
what. I'm
there.
sure somebody else will. But yeah, the coolest thing is you can look at a map and go to anything that says Foss.
All right, go to the Fosses.
Go to anything that says Foss, you're good.
All right. Hey, so today what we're doing is we've already given a couple of landscape tips, but that is really kind of it. We're taking your comments. We'll be asking Matt lots of questions. I want to give one of my favorite landscape tips. And this is it's a bigger picture tip. I know that you want an f-stop, but I'm going to give you a different tip. And so can we take a look at my screen real quick? You still got my screen? All right. So this is my number one most liked image on Instagram. All right. And this is like my number 2 or 3 most liked image on Instagram. And I'll tell you what, I will tell you something about these. Neither one of these are particularly really good shots. I don't think you could look at this and go, wow, Scott, you really just captured this. You know what I mean? I don't think you could say, wow. But I think the reason why these shots are so popular and it is because you don't see the wave every day. So this is the wave out in Arizona. And the hike to there just about killed me. And no, I got there okay. I almost died on the way back. I'm not kidding. I got really sick on the way back. I got dehydrated on the way back. And one of my buddies, if he hadn't gone and got some water, I'd still be laying there. The skeleton would be there. Scott died here. But I did not take enough water in my backpack. But I was able to hike all the way out there. It's like 3 miles or whatever. And it's desert, 114 degrees and stuff.
Yeah. And you don't sweat, but you should be.
Oh,
and
you should be sweating.
How you get dehydrated.
Yeah. Ooh, it was bad. Anyway, but here's the thing. Like, you can't look at those and go, wow, you just really did it right. I set up a tripod. I put a camera on it. And I took the picture. That's it. I mean, there was nothing special I did. That was shot. So I was a Nikon shooter at the time. And Canon loaned me a 5D. I think it was a 5D Mark II. And with a 16 to 35 millimeter lens, and I got that shot. But seriously, it's just because we don't get to see this every day, but that's a big thing. Showing people stuff they don't see every day. Can I tell you what? If you drive to the parking lot at Yosemite and take a shot, there are how many people would you say are right now in the parking lot overlooking Yosemite?
View. Yeah, tunnel view.
Yeah,
right now there's 150 people.
There's 150 people there at any given time. And then you come back with that shot, even if it's a nice shot, everyone's going to go, oh, that's nice. Where's that? Yosemite. Oh, yeah. They've all seen it a million times. So what my number one tip is, if you really want to create compelling shots, and you did this. Matt showed me a shot I'd never seen before. And of course, when you see a shot you've never seen before, like, oh my gosh. But when I heard what he had to do, I realized I'm never going to get that shot. Do you have that shot? Do you know where it's at? The one where you hiked out? He didn't just hike out. He didn't just hike out. He literally went through freezing water and waded through all this stuff to get to this beautiful scenic area. Was it a waterfall?
It was Oneonta Gorge.
Yeah.
And just outside of Portland.
Right. Now, I shot a waterfall in Portland. I pulled up to the parking lot. I walked down a path, and in about 45 seconds, I was in front of the waterfall. And then when Matt was telling me this story, I'm like, I realized at that moment, I will never, ever shoot this thing. But the first time I saw it, look at this. Look at this.
The cool thing is, though, here, let me get the good one here. I think there we go. Oh, good.
It went away. Don't move.
It's gone.
Don't move. And we had to answer a question, too, that was back there.
There we go.
Hold on. Here we go.
So
this is worth the wait.
So here's
there it is.
There's the gear. There's one of them. There we go. This is probably my favorite one of.
I don't know. I like those other ones. Go back.
No. Here's Photoshop.
That's nice. I mean, it's really, really nice. I love the foreground in it because it's got a really. I think
the
that is awesome.
So you know what's funny about that is we hear, and I want to get into this. I want to get into because I actually don't know the answer to this question, but why on so many travel magazines billboards, do we see these great locations in the middle of the day. But we're always telling people, and I personally believe most of the best light is at sunrise or sunset.
Sure.
But like, dude, I'm driving around Glacier National Park, and you got the Cruise America RVs and everything like that, and the photo right on the side of the thing is just midday, whatever, Canyonland shot.
But you know
look
what?
in travel magazines too. You see beaches in midday.
Well, of course.
You see all that. But the cool, interesting thing about this shot is you can't get the waterfall shot that we were just talking about. You can't get that at sunrise or sunset because the sun has to be overhead.
Same thing with the wave. Do you know that they told me don't get up early and go.
It'll be all in shadows.
Because you'll be in there and it's all shadows and just nothing. So
there's the right light for a subject.
That's a beautiful shot. Like when I see that shot, I think, wow, because number one, you don't see it every day, but it's got a lot of beautiful. I think that I really do like that one. I mean, if I had to choose between that one and the other one, and the other one's very nice. The foreground is strong there, and that has this is a more epic shot. That's not a 24.
No.
That looks more epic. I love the foreground, but dude, that other one is just emotionally that looks like Jurassic Park or something. It looks like something. I mean, that just looks like a fake movie set or one of those things. You know how people composite these things together that don't really exist.
Imagine standing there and having that unfold in front of you.
My
dude,
gosh.
So what's funny is had I had my way, we would have been in there at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it just worked out, and timing got us later and later, and next thing you know, it was noon before. If I had my way, I'd have been there at like 8 a.m. I never would have gotten that shot.
Hey, if I'd have had my way, I'd have been there with a smoke machine, and I'd be pouring smoke out there. Anyway, so that is that's my first tip, which is, sometimes you have to be willing to do what it takes to make a great shot. If you're just going to go to the overlook where everybody goes, like for example, if you go to Monument Valley, there's a really nice parking lot and you'll get the standard shot. Mm-hmm. But if you hire like a Navajo guide, then you're going to go to different places. You're going to go to better. And so take the 2 million people that go to Monument Valley and all take the same picture, and then take it down to the 10,000 people that take the trip, and then it's up to you to try to get a shot within there. But it's whatever that extra little thing is.
And what'll happen is you'll go to Monument Valley, you go to that parking lot, and you'll stand next to the 40, 50 other photographers that are there, and you'll get a beautiful photo of a beautiful place.
Yep, absolutely.
And when you come home and you hang that on your wall, 90% of the people that walk into your home, their jaw's going to drop because it's beautiful. And I think what happens to everybody is okay, so our friends and our family think we're awesome. They're like, wow, that's an awesome shot. And they don't know you just pulled up in a parking lot and stood there and took the shot. And I think what happens, though, is then you get into the photography community and you start seeing photos online, and you want a little bit more. So that's where you have to go. Because I say go to Monument Valley, take that photo, take the hero shots, but then, spend the extra time and hire the guy and go out and get some of those different photos, too. And that way you kind of satisfy both needs. You satisfy the need.
Yeah, you get the hero shot.
Yeah, I got the hero shot. I hang it up. Everybody that's never been there, thinks it's awesome. But then you also satisfy your need to kind of get out there and do a little bit more with it.
Hey, Matt, Rose is asking, do you use any filters on your waterfall photo?
I almost, especially if I'm shooting anywhere around water, I almost always have a polarizer on.
Polarizer?
Yeah.
To slow the shutter speed, make the water silky? Or reflections?
I do the polarizer for reflections. On the rocks, it makes it look better. And everything
that's
around
silky
there.
Water. That's mighty silky.
And that one, you're, even though it looks sunny off in the distance, you're in a slot canyon,
right?
And there's no real sun overhead, so it's actually naturally gives you a slower shutter speed, even though you see sun coming in there.
Where's your car? Is it just off to the left?
Just off to the left. I wonder. I probably have a couple in this here.
Hey, while he's doing that, we've got Basim says, hi, Scott and Matt. Basim from Iraq. Thank you for watching all the way over there. And let's see, going to Yellowstone in September for the first time. Any tips? I've never been to Yellowstone. How about you?
I've kind of driven through Yellowstone. So Yellowstone has never been high on my list. And I actually found out a few weeks ago why it's never been high on my list, because I was with, remember, Tom Bull.
Sure, I love Tom.
So I was co-teaching a workshop with Tom Bull and George Theodore, and we were talking about Yellowstone because everybody's Yellowstone this, I can't wait. I'm like, guys, I never really wanted to go to Yellowstone because I've never really seen photos of there that like grabbed me, that make me want to go there. And they're like, well, do you like to shoot wildlife? And I'm like, I'm not a big wildlife shooter. And they're like, that's why. Yellowstone is a big wildlife place. So my tip would be make sure you have at least a 400 lens, and if you don't, rent one.
Wow.
Or a teleextender or something. Make sure if you got whatever it is, but it's a wildlife.
Oh, for the wildlife, yeah. You want a long glass.
That's really the draw.
Did you find the shot?
No, I was gonna show. I thought I had a picture of us hiking out there, but I didn't have it on there. But so you park at Oneonta, you kind of walk through this little creek bed, and you're like, oh, that's not so bad. We rented wetsuits because we knew we'd have to wade. You get to this log jam. The log jam's probably like 15 feet up. It's not death-defying. It's one of those things. It's like if you're careful. And if you're okay with just sitting on your butt and looking stupid to get across the thing, you really won't get hurt. It's when you stand up and you try to like, hey, I'm going to make this faster, and you try to jump from one log to another log, and which I did not do. I scooted on my butt across the whole thing. But then you get into this little creek, and as you walk up, the water just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And this shot that I do have here, you can see that's a waterproof camera bag, so it folds up. It folds up. You put your gear in there. You put some air in it, and it just floats along with you, and you kind of just swim along.
And you lose it, and it goes over the waterfall.
No, because you're not. The waterfall's in front.
Oh, thank goodness.
So.
Okay.
But it was nowhere near as cold or as hard as I thought it would be. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So it was fun.
Somebody had a comment here again. Anonymous said, I skied up to the top of Mount Rapihu. I'm going to say Rapihu. Mount Rapihu last year, and I got the shot no one else could get. You have to get fit and go places where less photographers go. So what I like to do is shoot from the backseat of my car. Connie Pruitt says, I watched every course of his on Kelby One before my dream trip to Europe. Love Matt.
Thanks, Connie. And can I say something to that last comment about you have to get fit and go to... That's what's right for that person.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because that's not right for everybody. Everybody's built different. And sometimes a lot of people are happy going to Monument Valley, going to the parking lot and getting that shot because it's not necessarily always about the final image. It sounds stupid.
The
experience. It sounds cool. But it's the journey to get there, and it really is. Because if it is about the final image, then really you're just photo collecting. You're photo collecting like your stamp, which actually is not bad. People like to collect, but you're going to these places and you're collecting. Click, I got my shot here. But it's about getting there. So that's what's right for that person to go ski to the top of the hill. That's not going to be what's right for everybody. Yeah. And I think. From there, you do things that we were just talking about, which is, find places to shoot. You got to find something that's good to shoot, that's near you, that's attainable to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Alrighty. Hey, we're going to take a short break. We got a lot more stuff coming up. We got a lot more tips. We got a lot. The comments are just pouring in.
I figured out my editing tip that I'm going to show that I've kind of shown a few people, but it's a good one.
All right, Matt's got a good editing tip when we get back. I can't wait. I always love new stuff. Stick around. We're live here on The Grid. We're rocking the house key with Matt Kloskowski. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Haven't heard that one in a while.
I'm just saying.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to 10 Essential Techniques Every Landscape Photographer Needs to Know. My name is Scott Kelby, and we're on location in beautiful Canon Beach, Oregon. So we're right on the Oregon coastline, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous day. And it's a perfect home for what we're going to be doing in this class. And we're going to be covering an awful lot. We're going to be covering everything from gear, from camera settings, for accessories, how to set everything up for maximum success. And we have a lot to cover. Come with us on this journey as we take you through the entire process to help you make the best landscape photos you've ever taken.
Well, hey everybody, my name is Matt Kloskowski. I want to welcome you to Mount Rainier National Park. Look around this place, it's got everything. That's really why I picked it for a landscape photography class, because there's a little bit of everything of what we can shoot. From the mountains to the waterfalls, to the wildflowers that really only bloom for a very specific time in the year. What we're gonna do throughout this class is we're gonna put together all of the planning that went into the trip. So I'll show you exactly how I plan, how I start to visualize things and figure out where I wanna start shooting. From there, we're gonna jump in and just get out there and shoot. My hope is when you're done with this class, no matter where you're going, even if it's not Mount Rainier, you'll be able to take all the tips, all the techniques, all the shooting that we do here and apply it to your own photos so that you know that you're gonna go home with some great keepers. I'm Matt Kloskowski. Check out my landscape photography class at Mount Rainier National Park over on kelby1.com.
Hey, we are back. My name is Scott Kelby. We are very excited to have Mr. Matt Kloskowski, the co-founder of this show.
I'm telling you, man, it's going on my resume now.
It should be co-founder of the
Excited to be
Grid.
back, man.
Yeah, so, well, really glad to have you. We're talking landscape photography. I do want to mention a couple of things. So we've got giveaways. One of the giveaways we have is we are giving away a signed copy, since he's sitting right here, of Matt's Photoshop Compositing Secrets book, the best book on compositing ever done. So it's right here. I'll be giving this away. Matt will sign this. We are going to give away this book. It's my brand new book, How Do I Do That in Photoshop, from the awesome folks at Rocky Nook. And it is not the best Photoshop book ever written, but it's really handy. No, it's awesome. It's awesome if you kind of already know Photoshop, because it's not for beginners. What it is when you're in Photoshop and you're like, wait a minute, isn't there a way to do this? Isn't there a thing?
How do I do that?
Right, then you just turn to the page, it tells you how to do that. So, all right, also, we have a very special giveaway. We're giving away a $50 gift card from Lens Pro to Go. So that's where we go to rent stuff. In fact, I just rented a camera body for them just recently. And so what they do is you go to their website, they have camera bodies, they got lenses, they got lights, they got just everything you could ever want to rent in your whole life. And then you go there, you order it, they ship it to you, you use it for a weekend or whatever, and then you put it back in the box ready to go to them, and it goes right back.
Prepaid labels, the whole 9 yards.
They've got it so down. It is the slickest thing. Their service is great. They're just awesome people, and they're kind enough to give us a $50 gift card. So we're going to be giving one of those away today to some lucky person at the end of the show today on the Grid. So thanks to those fine folks over there at Lens. They are awesome. I just used them like just a few weeks ago, and they have it so slick.
Oh, dude, it's easy. They made it easy, which is probably the most important part.
And so if you have a big job or something, obviously you want to be able to rent a lens. But you know what we do? We rent them to try out. If I want to buy a lens or you want to buy a body, you're not sure, rent it for a weekend. All right.
I think it's perfect for this guy that's going to Yellowstone if he doesn't have long
glass.
Oh yeah,
Yellowstone guy.
To do, yeah.
Go get your 400 millimeter for the trip. By the way, so a buddy of mine, Mike Carlson, who is one of the Bucks photographers, sent me a note and asked me, should I take a 400? He's going on safari in Africa, and he got great shots. And he asked me, should I take like a 400? But Canon has a 100 to 400 that I used I shot a whole game. I shot an NFL game with it last year, and I was only going to shoot the first half, and I just like, wow, this is so nice. But anyway, I told him to try it, and he loved it. He said it was so great. They're shooting from the back of a Jeep a lot of times and all, and having a 400 and trying to, his shots are lights out. So anyway, if you can find him on Instagram. I don't know his Instagram. I have to go on my Instagram. It's Mike Carlson. It could be Mike. If you go to someone's site and you see either Buccaneer pictures or Safaris,
that's it.
He's the one. All right.
I love that advice though, dude. Because you know what? I've gotten very, very simple. It's like people are like, oh, well, I'm going to take this prime and this prime and this prime and this and all these different lenses, and I'm like, man, if you can get one lens that covers it all,
oh gosh, yes.
do it. And I think what's happened is people have become obsessed with sharpness, and they think like, oh my God, because it's a prime, it's got to be sharper, and it's got to be this, and it's got to be that, and we've become it's happened to me, dude. It still happens to me, but and so I think people think like some of these lenses that have a wide zoom range aren't quite as sharp. It's like
that's old.
For really anything you're going to be shooting
outdated.
It at, it is going to be plenty.
Yeah,
so
well, let me put it this
simple.
way. You guys are familiar with Joe McNally, right? So if I see Joe shooting, he's shooting with a 24 to 70, You know, I see him. That's probably maybe his go-to lens is 24-70. It's a zoom lens. You ever look at Joe's stuff and go, I don't think that's very sharp.
Not sharp.
Yeah. All right. Lots of questions. Matt, Peter.
Can I show my tip? I got to show my. I'm going to forget to show this.
This is your secret tip.
So it's not. I've shown it to my last couple of classes because it's something that I've noted, and I think you're gonna see it and go, oh my God, yes.
I hope so.
And I think we'll all see it and say, oh my God, I see this all the time. Do you know what the biggest mistake I see in landscape photography post-processing? And I've seen it for years and years and years, and I really just honestly figured out what it is. We take our highlight slider, and I've been guilty of it.
Right.
We take our highlight slider, and we go like that.
Yeah, to bring the detail back in the sky.
The sun should not be a circular hole in the sky.
Right.
The sun should actually have rays around it. It should actually have bright areas of clouds around it.
Right.
It should actually have that. And I see so many times people get this amazing shot where they're shooting into the sun stars on the corner of a building, whatever it happens to be, and they yank the highlight slider all the way back, and it's just this ball in the sky.
Right, a gray ball. Right.
Yeah. So I would say if there's one secret tip, whatever you want to call it, it is do not take your highlight slider all the way back like that. And if I do anything to it, what I'll usually do is I'll leave the highlights alone. I'll take the grad filter. I'll bring the grad. If I do want to darken the sky, which I kind of do. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Look, it's even brighter. I do want to darken the sky, so I'll darken it, and then I'll take the brush
and paint back in the sun.
But you go into erase one, but you got to do like a big brush, a big feathered brush, and just kind of just click it a couple times right on there, so you can bring the sun back. But that's an important one. I see that a lot where it's just this circle hole.
Very, very nice. All righty.
Questions?
All right, let's see. So Peter Deathridge asks, hi from Oz. Matt, is there really no need for ND filters for sunrises, waterfalls, etc.?
Peter, here's what I would tell you is I know when it's time for an ND filter when I take the shot, and most of the time it's going to be water. That's usually going to be what we want to slow down our shutter speed
right, the silky water.
Sometimes clouds if you want to get streaky clouds, but most of the time it's going to be water. So I know it's time for an ND filter if I'm near a waterfall, if I'm near a lake or a stream, and I take the photo at the settings that I want to take the photo at, like f8 at this or f11 or whatever, and I take the photo and I look at the water and it looks frozen.
Yeah, frozen water's bad.
So it's hard to give you a formula because the light's always different on whatever you're shooting on. But I know it's time for an ND filter if I take that photo, ISO 100, f16, and I look at it and the water's frozen. Then it's time for an ND filter.
I will say this too, and I'm glad you said that because I usually take the shot and look at it first. I don't walk to a location and screw on an ND filter.
No.
I go ahead and take a couple of shots and go, do I need an ND, or can I just get away with a polarizer?
But what I would also say, Peter, is at sunrise and sunset, there's going to be such a lack of light that you'll just naturally get longer exposures.
Yeah.
I'm not usually pulling out the ND filters unless I'm there before sunset or after
Lack
sunrise.
of light. Nature Crane Photo asks, question for Matt. Do you bracket your shots for safety, or is it a waste of memory card space and time sorting through more photos?
I bracket the crap out of everything. Unless I am at a totally flat scene, the weather got flat, the sky is blah, 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 blah. Unless I'm at a totally flat scene, I bracket everything. -2, 0, and +2. And what that does for me is I hit my cable release, I hit the button on the camera, you can set it up to take 3 photos for you. Rattle off those 3 photos, I can grab my tripod, I can get up and I can walk to a new location and make a different photo. Rather than sit there and look at the histogram and look at this and look at that and then my color value's this. So, can I tell you a funny story?
Please do.
You'll get a kick out of this one. I'm at a workshop. I wasn't at a workshop. I was somewhere shooting and there was a workshop going on. And it was at sunrise. And I guess it was the workshop instructor. And he's like, hey, make sure your red channel's not clipping. And I said to the guy next to me, I'm like, so what do you do if your red channel's clipping?
You don't take the shot.
I don't know. I didn't know what to say to that. Anyway.
You know what? I don't worry about any of my channels unless it's all 3 channels. If I see blue clipping or whatever, like, hey, blues are going to clip.
Yep.
I got a slider. We'll bring them back. James Tucker, yo from England. Matt, your landscape videos are awesome.
Thanks, James.
Scott, I'm going to Iceland in November. I've got no idea where to go either. Well, James, we're in this together.
So can I tell you guys something about Iceland? I mean, I alluded to it before, and it was a surprise for me. I went on my Iceland trip with John Barrett, Jim Begley, Chuck, a bunch of guys that they do workshops and stuff. But their wives came, my wife came, and everybody shot. My wife brought a camera, and we all had a really nice time. I went on this trip because I've always wanted to go to Iceland, and I've been afraid to go because I don't know what to do. The trip came up. My buddy John had everything planned, and I know John. You know John.
I know the snake.
He plans the crap out of everything.
Yep.
So when John proposed this and said it's all planned, all you have to do is pay your portion of the costs and show up.
Which was $43,000, I might add.
And he said, you don't have to think about a thing. I'm like, I am in. So my wife and I booked our tickets, and we were in, and I sat back in the car and just let somebody drive me around. Here's what I would say is, I don't know that you need, people are going to kill me for saying it, I don't know that you need a workshop to go to Iceland. All the places that you see photos of are right off of the side of the road. I would have a hard time telling a friend to take a workshop to Iceland. Mind blown. I'd have a hard time telling a friend to go take a workshop to Iceland, because if you can get yourself there and if you can get over that hump of the uncomfortableness of not really knowing, you'll get there and you'll be driving along the road and you'll be like, what's that big parking lot with 100 cars in it? Oh, that's the one I'm supposed to go to. Okay, where's the waterfall? Oh, wait, it's that big one over there that everybody, like every place was like that. All the places, because Iceland, this winter, Iceland trended on Twitter, 500px. Like I was looking at like some of the top trends.
Right.
And Iceland hit all of them. So everybody's going to Iceland.
Everybody's going
when
to
you get there,
Iceland.
you'll see that. But it was so easy, dude. All the places are marked, the street, all the roads are everything's marked well, and you can just drive up. And all those photos you see of Iceland, they were all taken at a turnoff on a road with other people.
That's my kind of shooting right there.
You're not alone. You're not going to get off alone.
All right, that's my kind of shooting right there. Hey, Croc Dog says, as well as rocking this house, I saw you both at Photoshop World, and you rocked it there for sure. Thank you, Croc Dog. Hey, can we talk gear for a minute?
Let's talk gear.
I got some gear. So I've been using like the same kind of like tripods forever. And last year I started to switch, and I made the full switch to these tripods now. And I'm going to show you this one right here. This is a bad boy. These are, they're from a company. They're a British company. I don't know if the tripods are actually made in Britain. It's a British company called Three Legged Thing. And I have so fallen in love with these. I used one for a while, and I was like, that's it. And I've been using them almost exclusively ever since. Now I've just finally, when you finally go, okay, that's it, I'm in. I'm all in on these things. And I don't have any kind of sponsorship. They don't pay me. They should. No, they should not. I have no. But I started using these things. And one of the things that I thought, number one, was so clever about their thing, one of their legs is always designed to unscrew and become a monopod, which I thought that's really cool. Just, hey, because if you're leaving your hotel and you're thinking they're not going to allow tripods, because
it's my walking
you know what?
stick.
Security has no idea what to do with a monopod. They see a monopod like, can't have a tripod. It's not a tripod. And it's like right in front of you. Because what they'll say is if you put up a tripod, well, somebody might trip over it. Yeah. If somebody trips over your monopod, they are way too close to you. There's all kinds of other issues. Anyway, they're sturdy as a rock. Matt was giving him a stress test earlier. Matt was looking at it, and he was like pounding on the legs and making sure all. But good. They have really good ball heads too. I mean, they're ball heads, but their price is great, and the build is as good as anything out there. So their build is great. They look cool. Hey,
like all the stuff on the side, like the rubber
This is
stuff.
the Travel and the Leo. All right, the Leo, it's so small and lovely. But these things get so crazy small. So I travel a lot, and I want to have a tripod, but I do not want to like carry a big one. Hey, want to get some questions while I'm?
Oh yeah, I'll do questions. Okay, let's see here.
Because I'm going to show how small this packs down.
Let's see here. So Matt noticed your photo file format was JPEGs. Don't you shoot RAW?
Don't you shoot RAW?
Yes, you might have seen
this.
You might have seen the files that I kind of say. I have a portfolio folder that I put my photos in. So once I'm done editing it. So that's probably what you saw, and I usually share them online and stuff. But yeah, my landscape stuff I shoot all in RAW. How's that?
I'm sorry. This is not the easiest place. I'm like, everything's banging around here. It's not the,
all right.
not the best place.
I'll take another question for you.
Thank you.
Teresa James, awesome info. Thank you. You're very welcome, Teresa. John Swartz. Hi, John. Good to see you again, buddy. And John is giving big props to your landscape photography class. And he laughed as you were chased by the wave.
Yeah, I was out there shooting.
There's a moment.
There's a moment where I got a little too close and I had to like grab my tripod and run because it was like a big wave came out of nowhere, which really is embarrassing.
All right, let's see here. Mario, thank you for the shout out. Thanks so much. Shiva, again, thank you for the shout out. Michael, thanks for the shout out from Madrid. We got a shout out from New Zealand. Bob Ianson. What's the guide for shooting smaller apertures for landscape? This is a good question because I'm sure everybody probably has this one too. I hear it a lot. So what's the minimum and what's the max? And as long as the smaller aperture, will it matter significantly? There we go. We got our.
Look how small this bad boy is.
That'll fit in a laptop bag.
Look how small it is. But this thing is like a rock. And I've used ones that are not like a rock. It's not heavy like a rock, but it's
not even the size. I mean,
look at this,
15-inch laptop.
Yeah, these are super, super well made. I did a crappy job of. This is not the best place to build and assemble.
Assemble stuff.
I've got 3 of them. I've got this travel one. I've got this medium one, and then I got the big bad daddy back here. This is the Winston. The Winston. Now this is the one I've been using quite a lot. This Winston, and then this one is the Albert. They have these wonderful names: Winston, Albert,
I have a new name
Leo.
for this one.
What?
Mine.
It's the Leo. It's the Leo.
I'll just put it right down there.
You know where you buy those? Freaking B&H has got them. Go to B&H. That's where everybody goes. Go to B&H. They are super, super awesome, and they come with. You can get them with ball heads and all.
Dude,
and
I can't buy anything, man. I don't have a job now, so I'm not buying anything.
Matt's not buying anything. He's not buying lunch. All right. Let's see what you got here.
All right. So we're talking about small apertures. Sorry.
Oh yes, that's right.
So we went. So small. Hey, Dave Clayton. So. When we're thinking small aperture, we're thinking like f/16, f/22. I don't know, guys. All I can tell you is I shoot at f/22 all the time. I print my stuff all the time. I print my stuff big, and I never have anybody come up and say, "Oh my God,
there's
you shot
refraction.
at f/22. There's refraction on the edges." Does it exist? Yes. Will anybody that you care about know it? No.
No.
So.
I've heard f/22 described as the storytelling f-stop. It's when you want to tell that big, sweeping, everything's in focus for as far as you can see. The stuff in front of you, the stuff in the middle ground, the stuff in the background, just that epic kind of f-stop. And I'm the same way, Matt. I shoot f/22, and I'm quite happy with it.
If I could say anything, worry about what you're putting your camera in front of before you worry about what aperture you're shooting.
Yeah, the aperture should be down the list. Vic Kumar, hi Matt. What is your preferred catalog layout for your RAW files and for those JPEGs? Do you create an individual catalog for each folder or one master?
I'm a one catalog guy.
Yeah, one catalog's where it's at. Hey, so can I pitch something real quick? I haven't done it yet. I'm working on it. So I'm working on a class I'm going to do. We have a theater here in our offices, and we're preparing the theater right now for this class that I'm going to do. We're going to invite people to come in for it, and we're going to have wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. So for those of you who saw my Crush the Composition class, we're going to do it kind of like that. But I'm doing it on organizing your photos. But I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I've completely rethought the idea of organizing your photos because everyone's is very complicated and complex. You will never find a simpler way to organize your photos. But here's the thing. I'm talking about how to organize your photos on your computer, on your hard drive, before you get to the software. The software is the last 15 minutes of the talk. It's 45 minutes about backing up and archiving and all that stuff, but mostly how to organize your photos. And I spent a lot of time talking with people and going through this whole idea and trying to, because I've got a really simple way that I use, and it's so simple I'm embarrassed, so I'm gonna make everybody swear that they won't look down on me because it's simple. But I don't think there's anything wrong with simple. I think when I talk to people, and you teach out there all the time, what are the biggest things people say? I don't know where my images are. I'm not sure. A lot of my images are broken in Lightroom. I don't know where do I need to move to a bigger hard drive? And I go, are you fully backed up? I think so. Most of my stuff's backed up.
No, dude, it's the
It's the
single
Wild West.
biggest. It's the single biggest thing. Whenever you teach a Lightroom class, nobody ever comes back and says, "Can you go over what the exposure slider does again?" I don't get it, but they all come back. And it's
a
all
mess.
about the cataloging and everything like that. And I'm with you, dude.
I got it
Organize
down.
it before you ever get to software.
Yep. And I'm going to teach that. So that, and we're working on it now because we're having to add some extra lighting and stuff in our theater and stuff because we're going to do it all fancy like. Anyway, that's coming up. For those of you who are in the Tampa Bay area where we'll be filming it, we'll be sending out some invites to Kelby One members that live in this area. We're going to wine you. We're going to dine you. We're going to get you kind of hammered before I even step on stage.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. And not Dunkin' Donuts. We're going to like cheese and
Kreme.
stuff. All right. You got to come just to hang out. And you know what's nice when I'm teaching, if Matt is in the audience, he likes to come up and cross his arms and listen for a minute and then just go. Like, it's all wrong or it's not going well.
I do this too. I do
Yeah,
a lot of
like,
this.
oh, this isn't good. So that it's very inspirational to see someone out there doing that. It's
fun.
very, very exciting. Matt Chernitsky asks, do you consider night skyscapes to be landscapes? So I'm thinking you're talking like,
Stars?
Yeah, the Milky Way and stuff like that.
I do. I mean,
I think it falls under landscapes. What else would it be?
So I've changed my name from landscape photographer to landscape outdoor nature photographer. And that way, basically, what I've realized is I like to photograph things outdoors. Whatever they are, I like to shoot out. So if it's a city, a landscape is technically, it's got no man-made visibility in it. That's a landscape. But
What is that?
I love shooting cityscapes and all that stuff.
What does that say for me, who's just trying to finish a book called The Great Indoors? So, hey, speaking of that, go ahead.
I was going to say to Matt, the class that they ran that trailer for, the landscape photography one, there's a lesson in there on shooting the night sky. And,
Shooting
super
the
easy to
night
do.
sky. Hey, speaking of shooting the night sky, this has nothing speaking to it at all. What was I going to mention? I was just going to mention something. Crud. I hate it when I black out in the middle of the thing. It was about a class or something. Oh, I'm going to New York next week. I'm going to New York on business next week, but I'm trying to shoot a couple of places. So one place I'm trying to shoot is I'm looking for a really, really, really good high view of like Central Park or something. Now I know you can shoot it from the top of Rockefeller Center, top of the rock. You can shoot up there, and it's not ideal. They don't want you to set up a tripod and stuff, and it's not good. So if you know of a high location that I can get to, don't go, well, if you scale the side of the building, that's not going to help me. And I'm trying to get a shoot arranged for my book, inside the New York Public Library. So I have some people working on that, but if you happen to work at the New York Public Library or know somebody at the New York Public Library or know how to break into the New York Public Library before they open in the
What the
morning,
codes are.
I have to do it when no one's there. That's the key to this book, is it has to be empty. So, shout me out over there on Facebook. Let's see. Matt Chernitsky says again, there's a great place in Texas called Enchanted Rock, but it's a couple-hour hike to get to the top. And it's a trek you don't want to make in the dark. I can't figure out how to shoot sunrise or sunset there. I can tell you what to do.
Helicopter.
No, not helicopter. This is how you do it, because this is how I've seen people do it. You have to go there in the daylight and spend the night. You do.
Yeah, camp
You
out.
literally have to camp out there, and you have to be right up there in the morning while it comes up, and then you hike your way down, and you're in daylight all the way up, and you're in daylight all the way down. And
yeah.
at night, what you do is you sit up there with a fully charged iPad, and you just break the wilderness with your technology. All right. Hey, we're going to take a short
Shoot
break.
the stars.
Shoot the stars. We're going to take a short break. We have a lot more questions coming up. And don't forget, if you've got contacts in New York City for cool places to shoot, I'll be there next week. If you live in Iceland, I'll be there. All kinds of stuff. I need places to go. I'm a lonely, lonely traveler.
Lonely. Help him out.
Help me out. We'll be right back. Wait, hold on. Matt, take us out.
We'll be right back.
I was expecting a little, pomp
No,
and
you weren't.
circumstance.
No,
I
no,
was
you
expecting
really-
a hey.
Well, hi everyone, Corey Barker here, and I want to tell you about my newest course on advanced compositing and finishing effects. Now, what we're going to be doing is going through the entire process. We're going to be selecting and extracting a subject, building a background element, and we're going to be adding lighting and particle effects to create a really dramatic look. So, we're going to have a lot of fun, you're going to learn a lot of really cool things, and be sure to check it out exclusively at kelby1.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Halfdell. I'm a senior product manager at Adobe that works on mobile photography solutions. We're going to talk about how to use Lightroom Mobile, Lightroom Web, and Lightroom Desktop as part of a mobile photography solution. We're going to use Lightroom Mobile to import, organize, edit, and share your photos, and show you how you can use it as part of Lightroom Desktop and Lightroom on the web. Let's get started.
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here, and welcome to my class on 10 essential post-processing techniques every landscape photographer needs to know. So this class is kind of based on a class that I did earlier on landscape photography. We're going to take the images that I did on the essential landscape photography techniques, and now we're going to apply the essential post-processing techniques so the whole thing comes together.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Matt Kloskowski, and we're holding a tripod here. Rose just asked, what brands are your tripods, and where can we buy them? So, Rose, I was showing the three-leg thing. So this particular one right here, now I'm giving you the US dollar price. Rose is in New Zealand, and you probably, I don't know if you can buy from B&H in New Zealand, but they should open a B&H in New Zealand. This one is the Leo. This one on B&H with the ball head is $349.99, which for a great tripod is good because you buy a tripod and you keep it forever. This holds up to 66 pounds. Woo-hoo! And its maximum height is 54 inches, almost 55 inches. So anyway, that is that.
And I always tell people, like, don't feel like you have to get a tripod that's above your head or your height, because when you put a ball head on, number one,
and then you put your camera?
And then you put your camera on, you're never ever shooting that high.
Nope, never. You're more likely to shoot low than you are to shoot high. What did I want to say here? Hey, by the way, if you live in Nashville, Tennessee, or if you live in Indianapolis, either one of these fine towns, I'm going to be in Nashville with my Shoot Like a Pro Part 2 seminar coming up on August 15th. That's a Monday. You don't want to go to work on a Monday.
Do you need to know where to stay when you're there?
No, I know where to stay in Nashville. I
You
stay right next to the convention center, right, like connected to it. There's like an intercontinental hotel. I love Nashville. And I will also be in one of my favorite cities. If I didn't live in Florida, Indianapolis would be one of the places I would want to live. Indianapolis is an incredible sports town. They got a great team and a great stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium. Anyway, I'll be there on the 25th. So go to kelby1live.com. Sign up. We have limited seating, but we still would like to see you there. So come on out. Join hundreds of other photographers in your area. We'll have a day of love. Hey, by the way, it's also 100% guaranteed. If you go and you don't think it's the best seminar you've ever been, no matter what you've paid for any other seminar, you get your money back. So you can't lose. Let's get some questions.
I want my money back.
Fran wants to know, how's the Great Indoors book coming along? Fran, I'm so close to being done with it. I have about 9 pages left. I'm hoping I can actually add a couple of pages to it in this New York trip. I can't swear. I'd love to get in the Radio City Music Hall, but you know what? That would be a great place, right, to get a shot, Radio City Music Hall. I just thought of that. Hey, if you work at Radio City Music Hall.
Or no way to break in.
One more thing. If you're into Lightroom Mobile, we have a new class coming out tomorrow. Every Thursday is new class Thursday. Josh Halfdell. Josh is the Lightroom product manager. So
Josh is awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome. Very, very smart guy. He's doing a thing called Streamline Your Workflow with the Adobe Lightroom mobile app. So that's on kelby1.com. It officially comes out tomorrow because tomorrow's new, but apparently we've released it today. So there it is on the site. So just cruise over there and check it out. And really, I mean, you're hearing directly from the horse's mouth, and I mean that is a compliment, not a bad thing. Also, can I plug one more thing?
Sure.
Dang. I'm going to be at Photo Plus Expo, all right? Photo Plus Expo in New York in October, and I'm going to be teaching 2 things. I'm doing a photo walk. You did a photo walk at Photo Plus last year, right?
I'm doing another one this year.
All right. Hey, you're doing one?
We'll be there together.
It's a double plug. And I'm doing lifestyle-like photography, right? What are you doing?
Lightroom crash course.
All right, I'm actually going to be outside. They're making me go outside, but we're going on location. We have 2 live models, which are much better than the dead models. We're going to be on location.
Where are you going?
Anybody? No?
Where are you going?
We're working on the route now.
Okay.
We might maybe the High Line or something.
Cool.
I want a city for the backdrop, but here's what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to show a technique, and then you shoot. I'll show a technique, and then you shoot. Shoot. So if you go to the photo walk, you're bringing your camera. In the morning, I'm doing a master class on lighting. there we're going to be like doing live shoots, but it's more instructional than the actual shooting part. But one is about flash and strobes, and the other is about shooting on location. So it's kind of different, but we'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. Go to the Photo Plus Expo. No, I said East, because the old name. Photo Plus Expo website, and you can sign up. They're very, very limited seating, so I hope that you will come around. Hey, someone says, Scott, if you're around Baltimore, the Peabody Library is absolutely gorgeous. The Peabody Library has been on my list literally for probably 2 years.
Really?
I contacted them once, and they were doing like some kind of remodeling thing, and I couldn't get in. But they were very nice about it, and they said, hey, when it's done, you can come. So I just haven't gotten to Baltimore or D.C. area in quite a while. Steve Peters says, any tips for shooting panoramas to avoid lens distortion? Do you get better results with or without a tripod? Matt.
You know, man, I don't even worry about it. I just, Lightroom is so good now with that boundary warp thing.
The boundary warp thing is incredible.
I have stopped worrying about it. I've stopped worrying about the pano heads.
I'm gonna go see.
I mean, you know, you try to keep yourself as stable as possible. As far as like, you don't want to shoot like this and then take your next shot like this and your next shot like this. So you try to keep your camera on
I'm gonna see if I can show it. I'm gonna see if I can.
But
real quickly,
yeah, dude,
it's gonna and by
so good.
Let's see if I can find a pano we can show. Ooh, maybe this one. It'll take me a second. This is a big pano, so it'll take a minute.
I have one.
Yeah, I got to find it first before I connect my computer. So
I have one queued up if you need it.
You got one queued up? Well, go ahead and do it.
All right, so
check this out. We're on Matt's computer.
All right, so here's the photos.
So these are all the where that mountain? That looks like Glacier.
No, this was in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yep. Go to Photo Merge Panorama. Now this is gonna. Oh no, that's what's cool about Lightroom Pano is like you get to see if the pano is any good in like seconds.
What the thing he's about to show you is one of the best things they've added. Well, number one, Lightroom's pano feature is the best. See all that stuff that's missing? Watch. Done.
So that's what I do for my panos. I don't know about you.
Dude, that is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Show it again in slow motion.
All right, this was before. And then
it just kind of, I'm going to fix this up for you.
And I'm actually, I don't know why it goes between 0 and 100, because I wish they just had 100. That's all I ever do.
Yeah, it should be just on.
Just on,
just
on or
on
off,
or
because
off.
I never don't do 100.
No, that is the best thing to come to panos in I don't know how long.
It is amazing.
And the fact that, number one, is there's a couple things that's great about the pano feature in Lightroom. Number one is you get that fast preview. Number two, if you know you just want it to go together and you don't care, you can do it in the background. You can just hold the shift key and choose merge to pano. It will merge in the background. It's just awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. JMHS Photo says, is there a Scott Kilby Worldwide Photo Walk still on for this year? Absolutely. We haven't announced it. I think we're announcing it next week. I think we have an official date. We have an official sponsor. We got amazing prizes this year. We're just waiting to finish the site. We're trying to streamline some things from last year. And so that's all coming up. So yes, everybody asking about the photo walk, it's absolutely on our 9th annual. So it's coming up, and we're going to hopefully announce it next week. Eric Flood?
I was going to say bottom one, so we don't get too far away from the topic. Yuria Dubinsky, is Lightroom's pano the same as Photoshop? Well, it is if you're in the camera raw dialog in Photoshop.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to the Photoshop file,
and then choose
automate,
that's not.
But you have to be, if in the camera raw dialog, if you go up to the top, there's a place to merge the pano that's the same as
top
Lightroom.
left corner or something. Right, but you have to be in camera raw. But so I would say that Photoshop's regular pano feature is not. If you want to use the good pano feature, you have to go, all of your images have to be in camera raw first.
Yep.
Eric Flood, hey Matt, loved your photos from Norway.
Thanks, Eric.
Scott, your books got me into photography as an amateur, great inspiration. Matt, will you come back to Norway and shoot some other locations?
Oh, dude, I will certainly come back to Norway. It has been on my bucket list to get back. I want to go. I went in kind of southern-ish Norway. I started in Oslo and then went to Flam and then through the fjords and then out to the coast. I want to go to I don't have Eric. If you're still watching, is it Lofoten, Lofoten, Lofoten? the islands up north.
The place with the L.
The place
up
with the
north.
L. That's where I want to get back to, and it's tough because it's like an 8 or 10 hour drive from where I was, so I never got to go there. But that's my next place.
All right.
Time.
Susan Leatham, since we're talking panos, where can you get
Susan was on my workshop.
Well, there you go. Where can you get a pano printed at? You can go to, of course, MPix does canvas. I print panos on canvas generally.
Yeah.
But also
Hard to find frames to...
artistic photo. Yeah, well, that's why it's nice to do it on canvas. I go to Artistic Photo Canvas. So APC is what they're called, but Artistic Photo Canvas, they do an amazing job. MPix does a really good job. So, either one of those would be my sources. Let's see. John Swartz, we're going to read this comment. Between Matt and Scott's classes on Kelby 1, you'll learn all you need to know about landscape photography. Thank you, John. John knows the way in. We'll read anything like that. Hey, I did want to mention something else. Where are we doing on time? I have no idea.
5:06.
Oh, we're over. No, we're over. We're like 7 minutes over.
So, Eric, how do you pronounce it? That's what I wanted to know is it Lofoten, Lofoten, Lofoten? I don't know. That was
well, I mean, I think the American pronunciation would be Lofoten.
Lofoten?
Yeah, and who knows the next one? There's an accent over a word that I have no idea what it even means.
Yeah, it's like Foss.
It's like Foss.
Do you want to take the Carl? Carl.
Yeah, take Carl. I'm gonna get us ready for the giveaways here.
Question is, so what is the most used ND filters? A fixed stop or a variable one? Carl and anybody else out there wondering, so you buy ND filters and it's like a 2-stop, a 3-stop, a 4-stop, 6, 10, whatever, and that's it. And then they do have variable ones, and what it is, it's basically like 2 polarizers smashed together, and what happens is you turn it like you would a circular polarizer, and it lets you vary how dark it is. So as you turn it, it gets darker and darker and darker. Great in theory. The problem is you can get into trouble with those because it is 2 polarizers. As you turn them, sometimes you get this X pattern if you go the wrong way with it. It's really only if you misuse it, but people have been told me that, and I think I still use it in the right way, and sometimes I get that pattern depending on the light, so I just stopped using them.
I do too. I had the exact same thing. I used a 10-stop.
Because as soon as I used it, everybody's like, no, you got to, the manufacturer was like, no, you got to keep it between the dots, and I did. But in certain lighting conditions with the sun, I still got the X pattern, so I stopped using them.
Hey, I talked about this in my landscape class when I talked about shooting long exposures. If you're going to shoot long exposures, of course, an ND filter certainly helps. But you know what you need? You need an app that tells you how long to keep your shutter open. So I use ND Timer, which is 99 cents. Might be $1.99 now. I think they raised the price because everybody loves it.
Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a class on Kelby 1 that went over long exposures?
There is a class, by the way, that goes over long exposures by a one Matt Kloskowski. You may have heard of him.
Maybe.
He's rocking the house key. Anyway, okay, here. So it's Lofoten.
Lofoten?
Yeah, Eric Flood came back with Lofoten and Wester Island. Wester Island.
Lofoten.
Lofoten. Wow. Lofoten. Okay.
Hey, before we close, can I give one tip?
Of course.
Can I give one more tip?
Yeah, of course. Give a tip. We're all about tips today.
This is one of those tips that once I kind of started following it, I found my photos improved, and then everybody that I've told, they're like that was a key ingredient. So you ever go up to certain places, and it's like you can't take a bag photo. Like there's certain places like that. So this is. Is it the Maroon Bell or whatever? This is actually not my photos, my buddy Michael Jacobs, but I used it. And I cropped it from the top. He did not, so nobody think that he did a bad crop. You can't take a bad photo here. Do you know one of the reasons why? Is it sets itself up so perfectly for photography, and it's the angles. It's the triangles. It's the triangle. If you look through here, look at how many triangles there are in this photo. Look in the sky, you can see triangles.
Trees.
Look at the trees from the left and the
valley.
right, the reflection. There's triangles everywhere. So, again, triangles. Even zoomed in. We're not even talking foreground.
Where's this?
This is a fall photography trip I did in Colorado, right outside of Ouray. Amazing. I mean, that would be my second most best body of work that I ever got, like out of 4 or 5 days. It was crazy. But that's in Colorado, dude. And this was like, you just drive down this road and there's that. Anyway, triangles. So,
Ooh, I like that.
okay, but you'll see, years ago, I couldn't figure out, I would walk up to a place, I'd take a picture, I couldn't figure out why my photos were not living up to what I thought they should be. And they were always just lacking something. I was like, okay, I'm at this awesome place. You're gonna go here when you go to Iceland.
Yeah, there's ice.
There's ice. Yeah, that's not in Florida. So this is in Iceland, and see the top line, see the line of the
Yeah.
waves. So these horizontal lines that go through your photos,
Yeah.
they stop you.
Yeah.
They stop you when you're looking at it. Now, a horizon line isn't necessarily bad, but what I realized is when you can incorporate an angle into the photo, you get a much better shot.
Ooh.
And all that was me moving from maybe a foot or two over to the right and kind of just changing the angle of my camera. I mean, they were taken within seconds of each other.
Oh, I like that much better.
But it's whenever you're at a beach, if you got the horizon line and you got the water coming straight into you, it's a stopping point. Having two of them in the photo is a big stopping point. So you want to try to avoid these horizontal lines going straight across your photo.
Should I dress warmly?
I don't think it's as cold in the in August there. I think you'll have 50s, 60s.
All right. Yeah, it was 55 the other day.
Yeah, this was cold. This was 20.
Dude, I got a good deal on my flight. I got like a crazy good deal. Now, I
Yeah,
did use a global upgrade. If you're a Delta frequent flyer, you can earn like stuff like a global upgrade. So I got the whole trip like in first class all the way from here to New York there, all the way, lay down sleeper seats, the whole 9 yards, $1,300.
It's Iceland has gotten very affordable to go to.
I love Iceland. I'm going there in like 2-3 weeks, something
You'll be
like
at that spot, dude. Use
I'll
that
be
tip.
Dude, I'm so gonna use a tip. Is
that-
that piece of ice still there? Can I bring my own ice?
That was the only piece. So you go to this lagoon in this beach so basically there's the ice lagoon that's right next to it.
Yeah.
You're gonna go there, and then all the chunks of ice fall down from the glaciers. They float out of the lagoon, and then the current catches them and then brings them back to shore. The day I was there, the tide was off, and that was the only piece of ice that was there.
So what if I take a small wagon and I go over there and I put a big chunk of ice in there and I drag it over
There
there
you
and
go,
I take it out and then I turn my angle, right?
The photo that was just up there, that was just another example. Not super great location, but again, look at, you walk up to the spot and you got that line and that line going across, and if you just angle your camera to the left, it's a different photo.
Yeah, it is.
If I have, that's not got triangles, but you can see the idea of triangles.
Ooh, that's nice. Where's
Yeah.
that?
That place in Colorado.
Dude, that place in Colorado is
Dude,
pretty
I'm
good. I've never
telling you,
heard
man,
of it
it's awesome.
before. I've
So-
never heard of it before. What's it called?
Ouray. Uray.
And it's like, how far from Denver is it?
I flew into what's the other one in Colorado?
Boulder?
No, Junction something.
Yeehaw Junction?
No, not Yeehaw Junction.
Grand Junction.
Grand Junction. I flew into Grand Junction. It's about a 2-hour drive.
All right. Hey, you made Fran happy. Fran says
Fran's
this
awesome.
episode has been awesome in all caps. Thank you, Fran. Hey, Gail is watching for the first time, and she says it won't be the last. Thank you for joining us. And
Tim Knowles, hit me up on Facebook. I'll answer your question later. I got something for you.
He's got something for you, Tim. And of course, thanks to Honda Civic Johan, he's just always there. Now, it looked like Dave Clayton was on there. Hi, Dave. Big love to you. And we have a lot of viewers from the UK.
Oh yeah.
And do you know why? Because they want to watch people use UK products, like Cool Fine. Hey, by the way, I'm on their site. Can we hit this? Can we? Oh, I got to reconnect to Video Control Room 2. Parallel locks of such. Here they are. Here we go. There we are. This is their site, Three Leg Thing. It's the Three Leg Thing show today. Equinox, Leo. That's the one I've got. Leo. That's that little short one I'm using right there. And then there's the Winston. That's the big boy. That's the one I got behind me over here, the Winston. Anyway, one of these is coming with me to Iceland, Matt. Which one? Do I need to? Can I take this? This is a really sturdy little thing. Can I take this? I don't have to take anything sturdier than this.
You know.
Is it windy?
Yeah.
How windy?
It got windy.
Dude, this thing holds 66 pounds. Feel this.
Yeah,
Is this going over?
No, it's not going over. It's just how it shakes in the wind.
All right, can I go up to the next
You're
one?
going to check a bag. If you're checking a bag,
I'm going to go to Albert. I'm taking Albert. Prince Albert will be with me. This is, look at this. I'm taking Prince Albert.
If you're checking a bag, I'd take the sturdier one.
I'm probably checking it. I don't like to check a bag, but I'm taking one.
You got
Prince Albert in a can. All right. Thanks, everybody. There's Deb Usilka. Hi, Deb. Did you meet her at Photoshop World?
I did.
She's awesome,
Oh,
right?
Me and Deb go way back.
Oh, yeah, you guys.
way
Oh,
back.
yeah, you guys. All right. NV Pin Boynton says, thanks for the great tips, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to all of our sponsors and the cool people that help the show. Thanks for Matty K coming on the show. Very excited to have the co-founder. Did I mention he was the co-founder of the Grid?
I am, dude. I'm putting it on my website now. It's
Co-founder of the Grid right here.
Co-founder.
We hatched this idea just like over that way, over in that side of the building. Thank you, Jen, for being with us here, moderating the comments. Robert, thank you for amply running multiple cameras. Thanks to Meredith, our director, who's in a different place. Oh, Meredith is on the ball. She's going, don't leave before you give away prizes. We got a $50 Lens Pro to go. So here's what you do. Go to kelby1.com/webcast-contest. And then what you're going to do is, I know you're not a robot. You're going to go up to the top. This is important. I love those capture things. This is important.
Pick all those
you have to
photos
tell
that
us
don't
what you
have
want to
food.
win. We have 3 prizes. Prize number 1, a $50 gift card to Lens Pro to go. So you have to tell us in the comments, I want that. Number 2, Lens Pro to go. Number 2, I want the Photoshop book. Or number 3, I want Matt's signed.
That's
Here's
what you want.
God! Oh, I just spilled.
It was open, too.
It was open. I just spilled water like everywhere. Oh, well, the electrical stuff is nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? We get all these Apple computers for free.
Yeah, right.
Apple will not send you a pencil. Don't worry.
Put your papers on there.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you for those papers. All right. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Matt.
Hey.
And we'll catch you guys next time, next Wednesday. Will I be in New York? No, I'm here. Next Wednesday, right here on the Grid. Take care, everybody. That's Matt. He's rocking the house.